Hello everyone, Jack here again for Forbidden Planet TV with another new Comic Book Day video where we go through all the bits and pieces that I'm picking up off the shelf this week. Let's get cracking to see what I'm taking home with me and what I think you should be taking home with you. Hurtling out the gates this week, we have possibly the most anticipated book of the year since its announcement, since its solicitation, Absolute Batman issue 15, finally the reveal of Absolute Joker. Only yet seen in fleeting panels and in murmurs and whispers from Alfred to Batman, the Absolute Universe's version of the Joker is here, and to launch the character in all its horrifying glory, Scott Snyder has partnered with his longtime artist collaborator, Jock, who is handling all the interiors for this issue and for the big reveal. It's not just the interiors that Jock's been handling, he has also created this very disturbing variant cover to commemorate and to celebrate the launch of Absolute Joker in Absolute Batman 15, and you can come along and celebrate as well with us at the Forbidden Planet London Megastore this Saturday. Yes, we have our big Xmas gathering of signings kicking off with a host of creators from Battle Action, including Keith Burns and Garth Ennis, and then in the afternoon we have Alex Packnadell, co-scribe on Ultimate Universe 2 years in. We're celebrating the launch of that, which came out last week, if you remember from last week's new Comic Book Day video. And then at the very end of the afternoon from 5 until 6, you can come along and meet Jock, who will be signing copies of both Absolute Batman issue 15 and The Art of Judge Dredd by Jock. So definitely come along. That is at the London Megastore this December 13th. And yeah, maybe you can ask him some questions about how freaky this all is. More from my ongoing pull list, we have Amazing Spider-Man issue 17, another Amazing Visions Lee Bermejo cover here. As I always mention, the issues at the moment are flitting between Peter Parker, who's currently pretty lost in space, which is quite cool, and Ben Reilly and Norman Osborn on the ground in New York, keeping up appearances for Peter. As I said, quite reminiscent of the Doc Ock, Dan Slott run. Joe Kelly scribing both, but Pepe Larraz doing the sort of space interiors, and John Romita Jr. handling the down-to-earth New York sections of the book. I've been enjoying it profusely, as you may be aware through the previous videos. And now, if you missed the boat on issues 1 and the first arc of Amazing Spider-Man by Joe Kelly, you can jump right in because the trade paperback's out. Yes, volume 1 of Amazing Spider-Man is hitting the shelves this week, so if you haven't been able to keep up with the singles, definitely pick up the trade. The All Fight month continues for DC's KO, with rounds 2 and 3 hitting the shelves simultaneously this week as the champions battle through the tournament towards the heart of Apocalypse. This wonderful variant cover for Aquaman is not at all covering up the equally as brilliant round 2 cover as Aquaman and Hawkman go head to head, and then round 3 we have Wonder Woman and Lobo. So if you're keeping up with DCKO, you don't want to miss out on any of these bouts. There's only 8 rounds this month between all of our 16 champions as they get whittled down to the next 8, and then before that, the final 4. DCKO is hurtling forwards, so make sure you keep up with all the rounds of this massive event. Frank Castle is not currently the Punisher in Marvel Knights The World to Come. Jimmy Palmiotti and Dan Panosian present to us once more El Zombie. If you've not been keeping up with this pretty nuts Punisher series, his thoughts and actions are not his own as Frank absolutely slaughters all of the enemies and all who would stand in the way of the drug cartels and kingpins whose spell he is currently under. But will Frank be able to break free? You're going to have to read issue 3 to find out. I love this series. It's I said it last time we had an issue. It's just really bizarre. It's the perfect amount of like pulpy 90s, early 2000s, gritty war on drugs film that I love. And Panosian's art is leaping off the page. It's so sexy, it's so violent, it's pucker. Yeah, I love The Punisher. Great fun. Cracking on with the number ones this week, we have a revamp and rejuvenation for one of Image Comics' most famous characters and titles. Mark Silvestri returns to the darkness. Yes, Jackie Estacado is back at the forefront of the demonic powers that consume him and that he wields. The mafioso Jackie Estacado on his 21st birthday becoming the Darkness. If you're unfamiliar with the story of the Darkness, which I was first introduced to in the video game, which is mental. There was a demo that came out in Game Master magazine. I played it to death. I don't think I ever got the full game. I think I just played the demo like back to back to back to back. But it is a world famous comic book title, originally created by Garth Ennis, Mark Silvestri and David Wall. It has been rejuvenated for a new audience and for a new period of time and it's really exciting to have Mark Silvestri back at the helm, retelling, redesigning, and just revamping The Darkness for new readers and for old readers alike. I think there's a lot of Easter eggs in here for big fans of the series, for the ongoing series. So really exciting to return to the world of The Darkness. Speaking of returning to infamous worlds from Image Comics, Criminal #1, this basically annual-sized Criminal issue from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips is here to celebrate the launch of the new Criminal TV series on streaming platforms. This new, basically novella-length story featuring Lawless, one of the lead characters for the series, and in the Criminal ongoing graphic novels and crime stories. We've got a brand new heist here in the Criminal #1, as well as a couple of extra bits and pieces, including a couple of vignettes of some behind the scenes work into getting the show made, some fun little comic strips detailing some events in the process of getting it made, as well as a Criminal RPG written by Kieran Gillen, famed RPG maker with Die, with his series Die, and obviously brilliant comic titles throughout his illustrious career. Yes, he has turned his hand into making a Criminal RPG, which is super cool because I play a lot of TTRPGs and there aren't too many grounded noir ones that I've encountered, that I've had the chance to play. So this is a really good excuse for me to force my friends to play a bit more of a gritty detective story. As much as I love D&D and Blades in the Dark and Ghosts and Swords and things like that, I do fancy a bit of a noir every now and then. I'm a big Raymond Chandler fan. If you're a Criminal fan, or if you have a Criminal fan in your life, this is the perfect pickup this week from the shelf. And it's definitely coming home with me, and it should definitely be going home with you. And check out the show as well. Check out the series. Why not? From Titan Comics, we have Dark Souls, Mother of Mourning, the latest installment in the illustrious Dark Souls lineup that Titan Comics print. We've got some brilliant box sets available at Forbidden Planet of some of the previous Dark Souls comics. And this is just the first chapter in the latest bleak installment into the lore and myth of Dark Souls. Once again, penned by George Mann, who is at the helm for most of these Dark Souls books as well. So if you're a fan of the game series, you can read these all independently of each other as well, which is fantastic. So if you've not picked up any of the ones I mentioned previously before, you can pick this up off the shelf brand new. And while you're there, check out the other ones as well. You might as well, because they're there. And they're great. And last, but by no means least, a new #1 that comes to us from Robert Venditti, Trevor Hairsine, and colorist Dave Stewart in the form of Ordained #1, as we follow Father Royston Craig as he goes on the run from the mob after a mob boss whose last rites he gives and whose confessional he hears miraculously recovers. And now all of his deepest, darkest secrets are with Roy, and he must go on the run, but he's holding a few secrets of his own, as you could probably tell from his bloody knuckles. This is really exciting #1 on the shelf because it's already been greenlit for a movie starring Colin Farrell, produced by the Russo Brothers production company, and the screenplay has been done by this gentleman right here who's giving his praise to the book, Derek Kolstad, the writer and creator of John Wick. Yes, we are getting a sort of John Wick-esque Father on the Run movie, very much inspired and adapted from the Ordained #1 and the further issues that are ongoing. That film is a long ways away, so don't wait for that whatsoever. Definitely pick up a copy of Ordained #1, see what it's all about, see what's kicking. Trevor Hairsine's art makes the violence the perfect pulp noir feeling, and if you're a fan of his artwork as well, then you certainly want to be able to pick up one of these. Yes, this is the Forbidden Planet exclusive variant for Ordained #1. I don't have one in my hands currently because they're already in stores and allocated on the web for you to be able to pre-order. So make sure you do not miss out on this Forbidden Planet exclusive. This is the only place, it's the only place in the world you can get this cover. So if you're excited at the prospects of the movie coming up, if you want to just have a little piece of comic history, a little bit of Forbidden Planet history in your own hands at your own home, then definitely head down to any of the local Forbidden Planets. We have 10 stores across the country, or head to forbiddenplanet.com where you can order yourself a copy. There are limited quantities, so if you fancy grabbing yourself a copy, do it soon, because we don't know how long they're going to last. So that's it for another new comic book day. As I'm sure you can agree, there are some huge releases on the shelf. But that's not all. As you can see, there's plenty of other bits and pieces behind me, and this is just a small sample of what's available every single week. And the best way to find out what is on offer is to head down to your local Forbidden Planet. We have 10 stores, as I mentioned just now, across the country. And if you don't have a local, if you're not fortunate enough to have a local Forbidden Planet, then head to forbiddenplanet.com, where you can have a look through all of the comics that come out this week, all the comics that have come out in previous weeks, and everything that we have already solicited for pre-order, to make sure that you don't miss out on anything that launches in each new comic book day. Thank you as always so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you get to catch up with all your reading. And if you aren't already planning on doing so, do join us this December 13th at the London Megastore for our big Xmas gathering. As I said earlier, we are being treated by visits from some wonderful creators, some artists and writers whose talent is beyond comprehension. Yet we're so lucky that they're going to come say hello and get to meet all of us and meet all of you and sign some books and celebrating all of their work. So make sure you don't miss out on that. As always, have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time for a host of new comics. Thanks very much.
If you're enjoying watching Forbidden Planet TV and you're enjoying watching us talk to the world's most interesting and accomplished filmmakers, authors, artists, musicians, creators, subscribe right here. See you soon.